Gabby-Okyere asare Darko. Now we are one of the influential people within the NPP. A bra Nana Darko Akufo-Addo Ghana for a tour Edemano. Na ono there, according to him, he doesn't own any political appointment in the Akufo-Addo administration. Se mobe kaya and Ghana for a bonus because of his close association to the president, any Ken.Ofori attendee. People thought say, well, he would be given a political appointment. Now, well, his relationship status, Akufo-Addo, His Excellency former Already Aragaga the shoe boy, or Ken.Ofori attendee ne cousins. Now, well, till now, as I've explained, no, he holds no political appointment. He's a legal practitioner. In fact, he has set up one of the most successful legal companies in Africa. And he's a successful person, a businessman, and a strategist. Now, wakasa the afa Ken.Ofori and a cousin was it Ken how to do what he did to save the Ghanaian economy. Na ono de ogidi se ne cousin no onye hwe omia Ghana fo na Kennedy ohene akompreko e Japan enso say MPP delegate NTC say ahead of a year January 31st aka twene bro basically aka 4 days na say the widely anticipated elections presidential prime minister no are taking place 31st there ebeye piuso hwan ana ewini Kennedy yaw educhum kwabena Japan Dr. Mahubahomia ana say Brian Echampon hwan ana ewini Kennedy say delegates no ento abama no na yempe candidate ya anopa 10 am na wabaye press conference na wa concede say warene Island TV Plus like a video no na di you subscribe to our channel na fe for comment bra che wadwen efa enkomo ya yedi ehun Gabby-Okyere Darko the man is very vocal na se okasa you would fall in love with him ahwe obeka obetie ase na okane nyina na you would align yourself with him because he knows how to speak and he knows his stuff. Like I mentioned, na Nick cousin, Nick Ken.Ofori Atta, and another Darko Akufo-Addo. Na anope wakasa, unse na nse wade no akote, ompasem, ninuye yi ensemi sorry yi ICE, editaining no in Virginia, Caroline Detention Center. And nearby, why say on kasa. Now he's beginning to speak, and sometimes silence is a killer because Osha says Okasan he is revealing some important information. Now, Gabby-Okyere Darko or say Ghana for NTC at the time one na enyama basa Ukraine Russia war COVID-19 ni nyina ebe hit Ghana sambe kaya early 2022 and late 2022 and early 2023 yesanya Israel and Iran to kakra ewo enim wono na saa ne ma wenum nyina enka momu no ebe ha the Ghanaian economy tigana for say at the time there were flagship projects in so the government at the time which was New Patriotic Party wanted to implement, but because of the hunch parliament here, not Ghana war at the time, the government faced opposition. Gabby-Okyere, sorry,
no control or hardly any control of the place where your policies have to be adopted, okay, approved before you can implement them, and you had no control of that parliament. Okay? All right, I don't want to get into details, but I'm just saying that when we sit back, when we've been, and I believe in posterity. So when we sit back, maybe the years come in, and we look at the situation that the country faced. So, for instance, he comes into office, he sees mining to be a problem. He says that he takes a radical decision. I will ban small-scale mining, even if it costs me politically. And it cost him politically. Because when you look at the results of 2020, in mining areas, he lost.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that?
Okay.
He didn't have a speaker. He didn't control parliament. And then the global cost of living crisis hit. Okay? Your budget, your first budget is thrown out. Okay? The policy that you thought, emergency policy that you thought could raise the money that was required to defray your debts. Okay? Had issues in parliament that you couldn't control. And then investor confidence starts what? Leaving. So they come in. They sell their domestic bonds. They take it out, change it into dollars. And then your city currency starts going down. You don't also control parliament. And all these crises came to a head. Okay? But I look at it and I say that government did not waste the crisis.
Oh, but they say reshuffling of Atta would have changed it.
I'm coming. You can sit here and say that.
No, that's wrong. This is not me saying.
You can say that, but I'm saying that you can say that. But the president at the time also knew what his ministers were doing to help him resolve the crisis, including individual ministers. I don't want to single out any person. Okay, he knew the role each of them had to play at that time. When he felt that he had things under control, then he did his reshuffle. Okay, so I'm just saying that it may be difficult for Ghanaians at the time, looking at what was happening, say, change this person, as if that's the cure. But he felt that he had a crisis and it requires certain skills and experience that had been gained to resolve it. And when he felt that it had been resolved, then he made the changes. Or he felt that things were stabilized.
All right.
And at the end of the day, we have to recognize that the government did not waste the crisis. Okay?
Okay.
It used the crisis to take certain tough decisions that some of us suffered from, including, I'm talking about those of us who are bondholders. Okay? But the sacrifices that we made involuntarily, because we didn't want to do it. We didn't want to suffer haircuts. But those sacrifices saved the economy for 35 million people. Okay. And it gave us a space. We saw it in HIPIC. President Rawlings, God bless his soul, perhaps did not have the courage after 19 years to sign up for HIPIC when it happened. Because, yes, some of us campaigned for HIPIC to happen. But for him, but when President Kufuor came, he had the courage
to do it.
And when he did it, what did he do? He gave him the space.
How's your cousin doing?
Which one?
For Atta.
Oh, he's good. He's good. He's I sit down and I think that I don't know what he's going through, because whatever it is, and I saw some placards at the U.S. Embassy. And when you read the placards, they were saying how he made us suffer. As in the crisis. So which means that Ghanaians blame that one single person, or not, maybe not Ghanaians, but those who had the placards, for the economic crisis. That was not his invention. Okay? So I sit down and I think that this is a man who had made himself in the business community, decided to come into office.
Do you feel sad for him?
I feel, and if you're a human being, to know that this is a man that, because when you look at all the issues around him, I am yet to come across a single charge that they can say that Atta stole money. It's as if he's been punished for the crisis that Ghanaians went through. He's been punished for some decisions, but this is a man that when the banks collapsed, which had nothing to do with him, it was the Bank of Ghana implementing an act that had been passed by Parliament before 2017. Okay? But his president told him, let me finish. His president told him that go and find money for the 4.5 million deposits.
Okay.
He did.
All right.
So, anyway, we leave it to. The facts will surely come out. But I'm sure he's well.
Okay.
And I think that I'm happy where Ghana is.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
in a sense that we have stability.
I was say Sani Amano, I'm what a year Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And you see, say we are president here during such times, you know. What do you mean? Hey, anyway, the asofo bi kwan se bi o kan ye emfato ho. Say sofo we ba was enumsuo. After a while, sofo we ba was enumsuo. Enti afi was say one more was he say kwa de e dan na menye afi dan na menye. So being a president, it is not an easy task. At a point, you have to stand on your feet. You are taking a crucial decision that would affect millions of people at a go. And it is not a joke. Now, sad decisions here. Ken.Ofori Atta, now was finance minister at the time. This also born in Ebon. Some of the decisions were probably not even taken by him. But for the domestic debt exchange program, any haircut here, amount for any on their investment, you know, say pensioners, any other bond holders, and investments of mine ever mature, let's say in a year time, no, because of a year the challenges the government faced, it was necessary for the government to restructure debt, you know. So interest payment here anka ebeye matured within that year 2022 2023 2024 no, the government had to restructure that debt and increase the maturity date to about 5 to 15 years. Inti ebanesa say oka ho a you will be pissed, but according to Gabby-Okyere Darko, it was the necessary evil that has given the current NDC government some standing currently or no more building on it. So he's actually appreciative of the fact that the Mahama government is not wasting that crisis, in as much as the previous New Patriotic Party didn't waste that crisis. The NDC government is building or consolidating on that gains. Na Ojidise say omo to aso a ebeboa amagana etumi afa yentoma pa eri efra. Na Kennedy ohene Japan. Kennedy ohene Japan. Kennedy de o say ompe candidate bia. Enti ne o candidate to delegate for no omo asum eni say omo fa nto omutrim. Say on January 31st it is Kennedy number 1. Nothing more, nothing less. Say ampa say omo pe candidate here obetimi ya gina okona no from krenkren to krankran there ono Kennedy akompreko Japan. Kennedy.
Baby ayedro no, we need a bold, decisive leader to lead this country. So for chairman, but no kure and also me catch them. Yeah, NDC I know mbeko 2028, you know. Enye abofra body abofra view. Eye asem kesiye. Die hia obi a NDC 40 ni dimpe o ma city up. Enye obi a ya to aba adiachi 10 a.m. I concede. Na Madina ba yanka inweye. Na NDC for the Takashi because your leader na kasano esu walusu. No ma besi sayaba. That is why most of our MPs lost. MPs na ni declare one results no. NDC for the Takashi. Kennedy Japan. I wait till the last ballot is counted.
Already, I say Obetwenya. He's not the kind of a president here, and I said the kind of aspirant here. Everybody 10 a.m. and over 2 na wafre media houses ni nyina na obia microphone is in him in the face of ongoing tension amongst the Ghanaian electorate, having compiled our having collated our results, it is imperative that at this moment we concede defeat because our votes have this certain threshold, and we don't think that Debbie also on president here he will wait till the last vote is counted. Now, NDC for we need a major parliamentary seat because of the early defeat. And I said early conceding Dr. Mambomia a concede. Delegates, this is the time to choose bold and decisive leader who is Kennedy Akompreko e Japan. Aha, Island TV Plus. Send why you ever Kennedy ahead of a year January 31st on presidential primaries. Which candidate and our say obewini? Me say engineer Kwame Japan and the bewini. Also why doing actually saying fa or comment bra na video no like it. I face on subscribe to our channel so I always subscribe